Hey, so this is Guion. I wanted to do a video about meditation. A little history about myself. I mean, I've been meditating since I was probably 13. I read some books on it. I've always been interested in spiritual practices, I guess occult practices, things like that. I've studied about Eastern meditation, Zazen, breath counting, things from India. Different techniques like that, mantras, which mantras are just chants. I've actually come up with like 4 different things that are actually, I feel are components of a successful meditation. And, you could also call this shamanistic trance or Gnostic trance or any kind of like, whatever you want to call it. It's basically reaching, concentrating, thinking on things. The word meditate comes from, thinking things over, trying to contemplate things that are above you or inside you that are higher, like reaching your higher self, reaching spirits, reaching other worlds, traveling out of your body. I mean, and this is one of the actual things, which I would say, I don't know if we want to do that as first, is what is your intention for the meditation? And, you have that in your head already. And then the other parts are things that the other 3 parts that I go by. And there doesn't have to be 3 because, in chaos magic, you could get 5 because 5 is more of the chaos number. So anyway, but I always think, what is your intention for meditating? Is it to leave your body and travel, to do soul travel? Is it to do divination, to try to understand what's happening in the future? Is it to reach suppressed memories? That's kind of like time travel meditation, right? If you're going in the past, you're reaching memories, or you're actually hypnotizing yourself and trying to reach memories. That's actually going in the past. If you're divinating, if you're trying to reach omens or trying to reach spirits to tell you what's going to happen in the future, or go beyond time and space and see your whole lifespan, what's going to happen in the future. If you're consulting oracles, what do you really want? And so these are the 4, I would say 5. I'll put an extra one in there just off the fly if I can. But I actually had 4 mapped out. So first one is, what is your intention for the meditation? It doesn't even have to be an intention. It could just be, you want to meditate on nothingness, silence. Like that's what Zen people do. Like Zazen, meditate on nothingness. Just count your breath. Could your intention really, I guess there's always an intention. So even if you don't have an intention, it's controlling your mind. Being able to control your mind more. If you just count your breaths, you're able to focus on something. And then you're able to focus on anything. And then you're able to control your mind, which then when you do decide to have more of a direct intention, your mind is controlled better. So controlling your mind. If you have no intention, that is probably your intention for meditation. So number 1, set your intention for your meditation. And the other parts will actually fall in line with that, and somebody will help you with that if you're having trouble with that. If you have somebody guiding your meditation, or a meditation teacher. Okay, so the second part of meditation for me that I've found a lot is actually subconscious audio stimulation. So that's a kind of a fancy word, the way I put it. Basically, if you don't have anything, you can learn to chant. And mantra meditation, right? So there's Om. That's just kind of like the number 1, Om. If anybody knows that one, you could say whatever word, pick anything. The one that I like, that I've learned, that it helps me a lot to concentrate is a Buddhist meditation. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. That just focuses and gets me right into the thing because I've done it so much. So learning a chant is good, I think. Learning a mantra or a chant is good. You don't have to learn it. You don't have to say it yourself. You could actually get some headphones and put them in and go to YouTube, listen to binaural beats, listen to any kind of like audio stimulation as long as it's not a language, you know, that you understand, because that's another part that we're going to get to next. Okay. So audio stimulation, like music, rhythm, chants, binaural beats, anything like that is fine. Also, of course, you know, we could go into instruments. So here's like a drum. So drumming, you know, drumming, and you know, you get this little thing. That's enough to get people into this, you know. You're trying to initiate, you know, just occupying that part of your subconscious mind is basically what you're doing, so you don't wander when the second part comes up, which is conscious audio stimulation, or conscious, you know, which is like storytelling, guided, you know, visualization, you know, like when I started, one of the meditations I do is it's called the, you know, there's the Monroe Institute and the Gateway Process. So they have binaural beats. They go in, and then somebody comes on and tells you, you know, to visualize and do these exercises and walks you through this to leave your body or whatever, you know, and they'll guide you and they'll give you your intention. So you don't even have to have your intention, right? So they'll guide you, you know, they'll say, you know, the binaural beats will come in. That occupies your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is taken in by the storyteller, or by the, you know, the meditation guide or the visualization. So they'll say, you know, you're more than your physical body. You are this, they you know, affirmations, anything that makes sense to you consciously in your language, right? If it's in another language, it's more of the subconscious, because, you know, it's occupying the subconscious, because your subconscious is going to try to still understand that. And that still occupies the thing if it's not in your language. But if it's a language you understand, then it's storytelling, it's guided meditation, it's conscious audio stimulation is how I like to classify it. So that is the first two, or the first three. You know, set your intention if you can. If you don't have any intention, it's probably just to control your mind or control your spirit or reach higher planes, whatever. Second is subconscious stimulation. So you know, that, or mantra, chanting would be the second. The third would be somebody guiding you. And you know, you could do this all yourself too. But if there's a group meditation, somebody guiding you through it really does help a lot. Okay, so the fourth thing that I would want to say is visual stimulation, which that could mean just, you know, an object. If you want to just like, you know, here's some, like, I don't know if you could see that. Here's like kind of like a it's kind of like just a piece of wood that has some carving on it. And you know, you could do carving when you're meditating. That's another way of meditating. Here's, you know, some crystals, you know, that I have here. You can have that, or, you know, you can have a bigger, this is some fossil crystallized stuff that I work with. You can have idols. Here's a little pocket shrine made out of an Altoids thing, for Morrigan. I forgot I had this. I just found it. So Morrigan, you just got Morrigan with her. She has a bird as her totem animal or familiar, and some skulls, because she's a kind of a goddess of war and death. Okay, so, but the ultimate that most people use, and they don't even think of it as visual stimulation. Of course, you could have any kind of focus object, you know, crystal balls. I think I have a crystal ball over here. So I got lots of props, which, you know, you could do this all without props, but props can be helpful, you know, and props are fun. So visual stimulation, the ultimate thing that a lot of people use, and they don't even know why, is, you know, candle. So the candle, the flickering lights of a candle or campfire or anything like that will actually, let me see if I could turn the lights down here. So you can see how that, you know, that stimulates your eyes, and it'll actually put you in your brain in different states. That's the whole idea of visual stimulation, and the audio and all of that is occupy your visual, you know? So the way I was trained, you know, when I first encountered this, it was using sound light machines, which actually have goggles. that actually go off. I don't have a pair of mine. I have my usual one. I just loaned. I just gave it to somebody else because I wanted her to see how this stuff works. And hopefully I could do a video with her because I'm just introducing her to this whole concept and the visual thing, which I want to do collaborations and videos with Dark Sorcery, with Alfredo, about meditation, and I'm really getting into it again. I just had a trip with somebody, and yeah, we talked about it a lot, and I think it's good to have a detailed class on it and stuff like that. So visual stimulation, it actually shines in the light. The candle is the most common that people do. You could also just meditate on a crystal, anything like that. Any kind of object, even if it's like this is kind of like a crystal that you wear around your neck, you could meditate on. Anything, as long as you're putting your focus on this visually. It could be flickering like a candle, or like the sound light goggles that I used a lot in the past. I've used this probably since the 1980s. They've had these sound light machines, and I'll actually get one and do a video about that. And it kind of covers the audio. It can cover the audio, all the audio, conscious and subconscious, and the visual. And then you just have your intention, and you have your imagination, right? So those are 4. I would say the 5th one that I'm making off the fly here is your own imagination and your own ideas that you get out of it. So you could control, say you're leaving your body, you can control where, with your imagination, where your body goes, how it actually, what form do you take outside of your body? What you could visualize spirits. That's it's your imagination, but imagination is powerful. So you wanted to reach spirits to understand what's happening in the future, or what happened in the past, or any kind of spirit that you want to reach, whether it's a goetic spirit or a spirit of the dead or any of that stuff. That's imagination. I would say number 5th is your imagination. So going all the way down, let's just recap. We have intention of what your meditation is going to be, subconscious stimulation, like, or chants, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, or drumming, music, listening to headphones with binaural beats. That's all subconscious audio stimulation. Conscious audio stimulation is guided meditation, like telling you, okay, imagine yourself doing this. It actually helps with imagination, but you need your imagination too, because even if they're telling you what to do, you need to still imagine. It doesn't mean you're going to automatically go along with it just because they're telling you what to do, or storytelling. And your imagination will help if people are just storytelling and not giving you a direct thing. So, conscious audio stimulation, storytelling. Then we go to visual, the visual stimulation, which candles, meditation objects. We have, like I said, the sound light goggles, which I didn't grab my other headset, but I'll have to show what it looks like. And anything that you just view, anything that you want to pay attention to and use your eyes to just, so your eyes don't wander. Basically, this is all just focusing your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, your visual ideas, your visual thing, because we are human beings and we want to find things to do things, with our senses, basically. Which, you could go into other things too. If you want to, like, say, people have a body position. I mean, you could add all these different ones. So yoga, you could have the mudras, like with whatever you want to make with your hands. Mudras are like ways to do your hands, pressure points, stuff like that. So if there's this one that's like really popular, things like that. You occupy your senses and put intention behind it. Use your imagination, and that's how you basically do magic, or psychological technology that is sometimes called magic. That is what my meditation / magic video is on. Like I said, I want to collaborate with other people. I'm excited to hopefully do videos with other people. But I was doing on Dark Side 3 and Alfredo, giving him a shout out. That's it. Thank you for watching.